Hello, in Entre Trámites, we want to show you a very useful process to pay your debts in Social Security that you can perform directly on the Social Security website. Maybe at some point you have not been able to pay a monthly fee in Social Security on time, or you have acquired some kind of debt due to some external factor. If this is your case, keep watching. First, you need to enter the page of the Social Security electronic headquarters. Please note that you can do this process either in the English or Spanish version. Then go to the option Ciudadanos and click on Recaudación. Now, click to open the tab that says Consulta de deudas y obtención de documento de pago. Here, click on the button Obtener acceso, and next you will need to identify yourself. You will be able to see 4 options to log in. In my case, I'll use the digital certificate, but you can use another method as well. If you wish to know how to get a digital certificate, then check the suggested video at the top. Once I have been able to enter using my digital certificate, I can see on the screen 3 different options that will allow me to obtain my payment document or documento de ingreso. Each of these options will be useful taking into account what is my need or situation and how much data I have available at the moment. Option 1 will be useful when I need a payment document that proves all the debt generated in a determined time range option. Option 2 will be useful when I have previously received a notification or a communication from Social Security and that brings a reference number or file through which I can check the debt generated. And option 3 will be useful for an autónomo or self-employed who needs to make a payment after the deadline, and therefore this payment has a 10% surcharge. In this last case, they can only consult when they haven't paid only 1 month. As an example, I am going to choose option 1, starting from the type of identifier. I am going to choose the NAF, and in identifier, I am going to write the Social Security number that has been previously assigned to me, then the number of the regime in which I am currently registered, which in my case is 0521, which corresponds to the special regime for self-employed workers. In case your regime is different, you can click on the magnifying glass icon and see the whole list of all the available regimes that the Social Security has. In the case of the fields, period from month and period from year, I will write the number of the month and the number of the year from which I want to check. In the case of the field, period up to month and period up to year, I will write the month and the year up to which I want to check. When all the data is filled out, I will scroll down to the button Continuar, and in this way, I will be able to see my information available at the current date. In my case, only 1 document appears, which I will select and click on Imprimir documento seleccionado. Once this is done, a message from the web page will appear on the screen informing me that the payment document has already been created. In this way, I can close this little window and I will click on the link Informe documento de ingreso, which will take me to see my report of the payment document. Now we can then see our payment document duly generated, and in the upper part you can see a barcode, a very important element in case the payment is made in person in one of the Social Security offices. Additionally, it comes with the data to make the payments, such as the name of the financial entity, the payment account, the tax identification number or NIF of the debtor, the name or company name, the reference number of this document, and the total amount to be paid. You can also see the affiliation number of the person, the period of payment that is being charged, the regime in which the person is registered, and a small explanation of why the amounts that are shown in these fields resulted in the main amount seen at the end in the field Total a ingresar. As you can see, it shows the initial amount and then the surcharge, which is 10% of the previous amount. In the third section, we can already read about several ways to make the payment. The payment must be mandatorily made in the financial institution indicated in Section 1. They also explain that the payment can be made in cash at the cashier's office or at the ATM of the financial institution indicated. They also explain that the payment can be made in cash at the cashier's office or at the ATM of the financial institution indicated. It can be made by means of a transfer or check or by means of a debit or credit card through the official page of the Social Security. It's important to take into account and write down the reference number that is shown in this field at the bottom. It's also important to remember that it is necessary to download, save, and print this document in case your option has been to pay in a physical office. Now, if your option has been to pay through the Social Security website, you can do it by credit or debit card. You will need to go back to the beginning of this process and go to the option Ciudadanos, and then click on the option Recaudación. And here you will see the same list of options as before, but in this case, you have to go to the second option, which is Pago de deudas con tarjeta. Click it and then click on the button Pagar con tarjeta. Now, if your option has been to pay through the Social Security website, you can do it by credit or debit card. You will need to go back to the beginning of this process and go to the option Ciudadanos, and then click in the option Recaudación. And here you will see the same list of options as before, but in this case, you have to go to the second option, Pago de deudas con tarjeta. Click it, and then click on the button Pagar con tarjeta. By doing this, a new window will open in which there's some information to fill out to be able to make the payment. So you will be asked to provide the surname and name of the debtor, the debtor's identification number, and the file or reference number, which is the important number at the bottom of the document generated earlier. Additionally, you must provide the account number, which appears in the payment document as well, and the total amount to be paid. Also, make sure to check this box. Then we are going to make the payment by clicking on this button, and once you make it, go to the option Imprimir comprobante, and you can have your payment receipt. Don't forget to check in your bank account that the payment has been correctly made. And that's how we finish this process. For more information, remember to check our website and follow us on our social media platforms. You'll find the link in the description box below. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve with expert guidance on streamlining your paperwork, be sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned to our channel.